Buckle up, because right this second as you read these words, 3 gargantuan astrological forces are yanking at the very fabric of your energy field, pulling you in directions most people won't even glimpse until it's far too late to adjust or prepare. You're not just floating through an ordinary day, you're standing smack in the reverberating aftermath of a cosmic earthquake, still rocked by the seismic shifts of planetary alignments from the past few days that refuse to settle. Those celestial collisions aren't finished with you yet. Their echoes are still coursing through your mind, stirring your emotions and threading into the essence of your existence, whether you're awake to it or not. And here's the mind-bending twist that'll catch you off guard. You're already being dragged inch by inch into the gravitational pull of what's roaring toward you next, a force building just beyond the horizon. Think of an earthquake. Its initial jolt might knock you off your feet, but the aftershocks keep rumbling long after the ground seems still, shaking loose what's buried. Planetary alignments operate on that same relentless wavelength. They don't just flare up and fizzle out like a cheap sparkler. They stretch, they deepen, they seep into your life in subtle, profound ways most people never even register. But once you tune in, once that first shiver of awareness crawls up your spine, there's no untuning it, no retreating to blissful ignorance. If sleep's been elusive lately, if you've been wrestling with your sheets, tossing and turning or jolting awake at bizarre hours with no clear culprit, hang tight because I've got a pinpoint explanation coming your way soon, and it's a game changer. Oh, and a quick heads up while we're here. The dial on this cosmic intensity is about to get cranked way up, so brace yourself. Only a select few, those rare souls with their antennas up, can sense the undercurrent of what's simmering right now, but the universe is practically vibrating with an unseen momentum that's gaining steam by the minute. If you're locked into this message, odds are sky high you're one of those wired to feel it. That electric hum rattling deep in your bones, urging you to pay attention. The energy swirling around you is on the move, shifting and sliding like an invisible tide that's swelling with every passing hour, pulling at the edges of your awareness. Out there, some folks are stumbling through their routines, vaguely, off-kilter, maybe a little foggy, a touch irritable, a step slower than usual, but they can't put their finger on why. They're completely oblivious to the cosmic undertow dragging at them. They're the sleepwalkers, drifting through this energetic flux with no clue what's tugging at their strings. Then there's the others, the spiritually awake, the energy sensitive, the ones who've got their third eye cracked open just enough to catch the signals. They know something's brewing, something big, and they're not imagining it. They can feel the pressure stacking up, layer by layer, like the thick, charged, quiet before a thunderstorm rips the sky apart. If you've been sideswiped by odd thoughts lately, random sparks of insight or unease popping into your head uninvited, or if your dreams have turned technicolor, vivid as a movie reel unspooling behind your eyes, or if you've got this persistent, snorting gut feeling that something enormous is about to drop into your lap, trust me, you're not losing your grip on reality. This is just the opening salvo, the first faint tremor of a much grander upheaval rolling in. The Moon and Jupiter locked horns in a potent alignment back on March 6th. And if you're thinking their influence packed up and shipped out after that date, think again. It's still lingering, still pulsing through the airwaves. That energy's alive, weaving its threads through your thoughts, stirring the pot of your emotions and subtly, or not so subtly, rerouting your life's trajectory. Jupiter's the cosmic amplifier, the planet that takes whatever's simmering inside you and blasts it to stadium levels. The Moon, on the other hand, is the quiet conductor of your inner tides, tugging at the deep waters of your soul. Right now, some of you are picking up on a surge in intuition, like your inner compass just got hooked to a loudspeaker, blaring hunches you can't ignore. Others are riding a roller coaster of emotional highs and lows. 1 minute you're crackling, with inspiration, ideas sparking like wildfire. The next you're swamped, drowning in a flood of overwhelm that hits out of nowhere. Some of you might have been struck by sudden electric epiphanies, flashes of clarity about where you're headed, what you're built for, or how your little thread of life weaves into the sprawling cosmic tapestry. Jupiter doesn't tiptoe around with whispers. It roars, it demands your attention, it's unmissable. If you've been feeling a flicker of hope igniting, if your dreams are stretching wider and wilder than ever, if you're spotting possibilities, Where you once saw dead ends, that's Jupiter's handiwork, shoving your vision past its old cramped boundaries into uncharted territory. But hold up, there's a shadow side to this cosmic gift, a flip to the coin you can't ignore. Jupiter doesn't just pump up the feel-good vibes, it magnifies every damn thing in its path. Good, bad, ugly, and all the messy in between. If you've been hauling around fear like a backpack full of bricks, if doubt's been gnawing at your edges, or if you've got negative thought loops spinning on repeat, those shadows might feel heavier now, thicker, almost suffocating in there. Wait, it's as if the universe has cranked up the spotlight, daring you, no forcing you, to stare straight into the dark corners of your mind you've been dodging for too long. This isn't some cruel cosmic prank designed to break you down. It's a wide-open invitation, a chance to finally deal with the baggage. What you face head-on in this moment, what you wrestle with and untangle right now, you can cut loose for good, no more lugging it into your future. The energy from that Moon-Jupiter alignment is still unfurling, stretching its tendrils through your days and nights, and whether you've clocked it yet or not, you're teetering on the edge of a crossroads that could redefine everything. Are you going to let your old habits, your worn-out ruts balloon out of control, swallowing up this moment's potential? Or will you snatch this cosmic surge by the reins and charge full tilt toward the highest, boldest version of yourself, waiting on the other side? Before you lock in your choice, let's pull the lens back and peek at what's barreling down the track next, because the intensity's about to kick into a gear that'll make your head spin. The Moon and Mars are creeping closer by the day, not yet fully locked in their cosmic tango. But if you're even remotely tuned into energy, you're already catching the static crackling through the air. This isn't some soft, fluffy transit. You can breeze through with a smile. This is raw, unfiltered, take-no-prisoners warrior energy, the kind that hits like a freight train and leaves no room for half measures. The Moon's your emotional bedrock, the keeper of your deepest feelings, the quiet pulse of your inner world. Mars. Mars is action unleashed, relentless, fiery, a primal force that doesn't negotiate or back down. When these two slam together, it's not a polite handshake, it's a battlefield lighting up the sky, a clash of titans you'll feel in your marrow. You might already be picking up the early tremors, a restlessness itching under your skin, tempers flaring hotter and faster than they should, a prickling electric sense that something's about to crack wide open. This energy won't let you shove it down or sweep it under the rug. It's too big, too loud, too insistent. If you've been bottling up emotions, anger, hurt, longing, if you've been biting your tongue until it bleeds or sidestepping the truth you know needs airing, this transit's going to rip it all out into the open, no permission needed. Conversations you've dodged for weeks, months, maybe years, they're about to ignite like dry tinder catching a spark. Tensions you've buried deep, hoping they'd just fade. They're clawing their way to the surface, screaming for resolution, demanding you face them square on. Even the calmest, most zen people you know might find themselves snapping over dumb little triggers, spilled coffee, a misplaced word, that'd normally roll right off. This isn't just a fleeting emotional hiccup, it's a full-on spiritual cage match, a reckoning in the ring of your soul. The energy's howling for release, for something to break free, to finally breathe. So here's the gut check moment. Are you steering this wildfire, channeling its heat into something fierce and purposeful, or are you letting it run rampant, torching everything in its path? Mars doesn't play coy, it's a blunt instrument, and it's handing you two stark choices. Harness its power to build or break, or stand back and watch it burn you down to ash. There's something stirring already, isn't there? You might not have the full picture yet, might not be able to pin it down with words, but you can feel it. A strange electric hum threading through the air, like a secret's about to spill, out unbidden. That's no fluke, it's Venus and Mercury inching toward their own cosmic rendezvous, and this isn't just another passing transit to shrug off, it's an energetic tipping point, a fault line ready to split open. Venus is the queen of love, beauty, desire, the planet that governs what you crave, what lights you up, what you're drawn to like a moth to flame. Mercury's the sharp-witted messenger, ruling your thoughts, your words, the way you stitch your perception of the world together. When these two lock into alignment, it's like a spotlight blasting through a haze. Suddenly, you can't duck the things you've been ignoring. Stuff you've brushed off as no big deal starts, banging on your mental door louder and more insistent. Thoughts you've hushed or shoved aside, they're shouting now, clamoring for airtime. Emotions you've stuffed down deep, locked away in some dusty corner of your heart. They're bubbling up, restless, ready to spill over whether you've braced for it or not. This is the kind of vibe that makes people blurt out confessions they didn't even know they were holding. That raw, unshakable urge to spill your guts. That gut punch intuition that someone's feeding you lies. That eerie, crystal-clear moment in the dead of night when the puzzle pieces snap into place. And don't box this into just romance or who's sliding. Into your DMs. This is way bigger, way deeper. It's about how you frame your entire reality, the quiet conversations you have with yourself when no one's listening, the stories you've woven about who you are, what you're capable of, what you deserve. This transit's hauling some heavy questions to the surface. Are you bullshitting yourself? Clinging to a version of the truth that's more comfortable than real? Are you dodging something you've known deep down for ages? You can't outrun the answers. They're coming for you, full speed, whether you've got your arms open or your head in the sand. Let's loop back to that sleep thing I flagged earlier. Those nights you can't settle, or when you're bolting upright at ungodly hours, heart pounding for no obvious reason. Here's the unvarnished truth. The universe is shifting so hard, right now so fast, that it's rewiring the entire collective energy grid, and your sleep's the first thing to take the hit. Some of you are already knee-deep in it. One night you're out cold the second your head hits the pillow, dreaming of nothing but sweet oblivion. The next, you're wide awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, pulse racing like something's got you on high alert, tugging at your edges. It's not just your brain spinning wild with to-do lists or random noise. This is your body, your whole system, syncing up to a frequency shift that's bigger than you, bigger than all of us. Your sleep's not broken or malfunctioning. It's recalibrating, adjusting to the new current humming through the cosmos. If you're one of those energy-sensitive types, the next few nights might feel outright surreal, like you're half in this world and half somewhere else. Some of you will dream wild, vivid stuff, scenes so sharp and real they feel like dispatches from another dimension, cryptic messages you can't quite decode. Others will wake up bone-tired, drained, like you've been slugging it out in some invisible war all night long, fighting battles you can't remember. Some will feel this strange magnetic pull, like the dark hours are calling you to stay up, to listen, to notice something just out of reach. Your subconscious is in overdrive, grinding away to process these shifts as they unfold in real time. This isn't just planets doing a lazy waltz across the sky. It's you, transforming from the inside out, cell by cell, thought by thought. Fight it, resist the restlessness, and you'll just end up more frayed, more tangled. Lean into it. Surrender to the weirdness, and you might just catch what the universe is trying to whisper or bellow in your ear. March 18th to 21st isn't just a potent stretch of days, it's a cosmic fulcrum, a hinge point where the whole damn universe seems to pivot, and everything you thought you knew gets a hard reset. 2 planetary conjunctions crammed into that tight window. That's not a gentle nudge or a casual cosmic wink. It's a full-on activation, a double-barreled blast of energy that's locking something into place and kicking off a chain reaction you can't unsee. This isn't random, not some arbitrary alignment cooked up by chance. The Moon and Mars are set to collide in a fiery showdown, whipping up a storm of emotions and gut-driven no-holds-barred action, while Venus and Mercury fuse into a single, piercing beam, peeling back layers to expose raw truths and flip your entire perspective on its head. One's bringing the inferno, the kind of heat that singes complacency to ash. The other's dropping revelations, the sort that hit like a sucker punch and leave you reeling. Together, they're rewriting your playbook, tearing up the old script, and handing you a blank page with a dare to fill it. This is the kind of energy that carves out defining moments, conversations that redraw the boundaries of a relationship, leaving it stronger or shattered. Decisions you can't walk back, etched in stone the second you make them. A sudden, wild jolt of courage that finally pushes you to leap where you've been stalling, paralyzed, for months or even years. Some will wake up on March 18th feeling off, a vague itch under their skin they can't scratch, a sense that the air's thicker, stranger. Some will be restless, antsy, buzzing with an urge to act, move, speak, do something, but with no clear target in sight. Others will trip over freaky synchronicities, a text pinging in from someone they were just thinking about, a realization slamming into them like a lightning bolt, rewiring their brain in an instant. Some will charge headfirst into the unknown, arms wide. Others will dig in their heels, resisting the pull with every ounce of stubbornness they've got. But here's the unshakable truth. No one's slipping through this gauntlet unscathed, unchanged. If you've been holding out for a sign, a cosmic green light to move, this is it. Neon, screaming, impossible to miss. After March 21st, the ground beneath you won't feel solid anymore. Your emotions will shift. Your thoughts will rewire. Your lens on yourself, your future, your connections, it's all up for grabs, all in flux. There's something bubbling up right now, isn't there? Some of you can feel it humming under the surface, that restless, prickly edge, like something's about to snap, but you can't quite name it or grab it. That's not your imagination. Playing tricks. It's Mars and the Moon gearing up for their cosmic cage match, and it's already leaking into the atmosphere. Emotions aren't just emotions anymore under this influence. They're fuel, they're fire, they're a force, of nature you can't bottle or tame. Mars is pure, unadulterated drive, raw, fierce, the warrior spirit coursing through your veins, ready to fight or forge. The Moon's your inner sanctum, your emotional core, the quiet keeper of your heart's secrets and your soul's whispers. When these two clash, it's not subtle or polite. It's a tempest tearing through your inner and outer worlds, loud and unapologetic. That's why people are on edge right now, why tiny annoyances, a stubbed toe, a slow Wi-Fi signal, feel like grenades lobbed into your peace. Why feelings you thought you'd boxed up and buried are clawing back to the surface with a vengeance. It's a cosmic upheaval, a storm churning up the muck from the depths, dragging it all into the light. And here's where it gets heavy, where it cuts deep. This is karmic, a reckoning with teeth. If you've been shoving down anger, papering, over frustrations with a fake smile, or pretending certain emotions don't exist because they're too messy to face, Mars doesn't give a damn about your denial. It's here to blow the lid off. Mars is war, pure and simple, and in war there's no hiding spot, no neutral ground. Don't be shocked if the people around you start acting out, if tempers flare over nothing, if arguments spark from thin air, sudden and sharp. But here's the real kicker. It's not about them, not really. It's about you, about what's being mirrored back. Whatever's triggering you in this transit, whatever's setting your nerves alight, that's your homework, the wound begging for air and healing. The true fight's internal, a brutal, beautiful brawl between the old you and the new, between fear's tight grip and growth's wild pull, between the safety of the known and the siren call of the wild unknown. This isn't happening to punish you or wear you down. It's happening to crack you open, to set you free. Resist this purge, try to stuff it back down, and it'll just keep circling. Same baggage, same loops, same karmic rerun. Face it, release. Let it burn through and you'll taste something rare and real. Relief washing over you. Clarity cutting through the haze. A lightness you haven't felt in years, maybe ever. If you're thinking this all ties up in a neat little bow by March 21st, you're dead wrong. Sorry to burst that bubble. This isn't a one-and-done event, a tidy chapter you can close and shelve. It's a match strike, a starting gun, the first crack of thunder before the real storm rolls in. What's kicking off between March 18th and 21st is just the opening salvo, the initial tremor of something way bigger, and most people won't clock it until they're already neck-deep in the fallout, scrambling to catch up. March isn't the finish line or the end game. It's the launch pad, the runway where this energy taxis and takes flight. You might feel it already, that quickening in your pulse, like time itself is warping, speeding up, bending around you, days blurring, moments feeling heavier, stranger. Something colossal is gathering steam just beyond your line of sight, just out of reach, and the air's thick with it, charged with a tension you can almost taste, a promise or a threat hanging unspoken. These days, March 18th to 21st, aren't isolated blips on the radar, random cosmic hiccups. They're the opening chords of a tidal wave, a surge building to crash harder and faster than anything we've felt in a long damn stretch. This isn't your garden variety shift, It's a seismic jolt, a momentum that'll keep rolling, accelerating, reshaping everything it touches. If you've stuck with me this far, through all these words and warnings, I appreciate you giving me your time. It's no small thing. Dig this kind of cosmic deep dive, this peeling back of the universe's layers. Hit that subscribe button to keep the insights coming. I've got more where this came from. Drop your thoughts, your vibes, your own weird experiences in the comments. Below, I'm all ears, genuinely curious to hear how this is hitting you. Until next time, keep your eyes peeled, your mind open, take care of yourself out there, and sub up for more raw, unfiltered plunges into what's moving the stars and moving you.